I'm recording my thoughts now, incidentally, I suppose, and I'm recording them because I'm inclined to, and I don't know why. I just want to save my thoughts because I have a memory problem right now. So I am sharing incidentally with the world, but the thoughts are not particularly significant. I don't pretend to have any wisdom or anything. I'm just sharing randomly, recording my thoughts. So I've forgotten now what I was going to talk about. But one thing that's occurred to me is life. And I think I've covered this before, but I'll do so again because I don't remember what I did. I was wondering about the significance of life. And it does seem as if we don't regard life as important in itself. We regard certain types of life as important, as significant. Basically, the complexity of life, I suppose. So we will kill insects and rats and mice without any issue, even though they're alive. But we won't kill horses and what else? I'm thinking about horses and African savanna animals, for example, cats and dogs, because they're complex and we regard them more highly. And then, of course, we will kill food animals with no problem whatsoever. So life itself is not the issue, it's the complexity of life and also how we view the life. So if an animal is not food, is not a pest, then the, the animal has a chance of survival with humans being around. So humans regard ourselves very highly. So it does seem to be the complexity of life which is important. So killing an insect is not a problem. And killing a rat or mouse is not really a problem. But killing a rabbit or a fox is an issue because it's becoming more complex. And then there are food animals which we eat without a problem. We don't have a problem killing them. So I'm wondering if we should be killing animals for food. There is an argument for saying that these creatures should be allowed to live by themselves. It's a difficult one to analyze because of self-interest. But the basic fact is we don't need to eat meat, farm animals and whatever, but we choose to confine animals for their lives and then kill them when they're in their prime. So there is an argument there for should we be living like this? And it is not fair, that does seem to be the way of the world, and it's very difficult to not eat meat. It is a very difficult situation. So as I say, these are random thoughts as I chew my way through life. So I am wondering what my life is in supported living. I've had this brain injury and I am broken as a person. So I am just surviving in life. And I don't know what to be doing. My life really is not productive anymore. I'm not being useful. I am just living selfishly, and it is all I can do. Stay alive because I want to stay alive. I don't have anything to offer in return, which is very sad. There's nothing I can do about it. So I do still want to stay alive, even though I have nothing to offer, nothing I can do, nothing I can remember. It is still interesting and worthwhile to me to be alive. So as I say, it is interesting how we regard complex life as important, but rats and mice and insects we don't regard as significant. But cats and dogs we do start to regard as insignificant. And then horses and African savanna animals and cows, and I suppose horses we use in farms for meat or work. And of course we have food animals in their millions. I'm thinking about work at the slaughterhouse and imagining how awful that must be for the workers out there. The men who have to kill animals for us to eat, and that is their job. That's amazing and awful for them. But people do have to earn a living. So should we be living this way? That is a question. Is it right to stop an animal living its life freely? There are so many ways to look at this. I don't know how we began to eat animals in history, and now we have set it to farming. But the fact is, we don't need to eat cows and pigs. choose to. And there is a question there about should we be living this way? I don't regard the lives of animals as particularly significant, even though they're quite complex and they have lives of their own. I am obviously selfish. It is how I think, however. So life has importance, but the complexity of life and the usefulness of life defines how highly we regard it. I'm thinking what else is on my mind. So I've been thinking about life, and I suppose death, which will happen one day. And it is amazing to know that I will die one day. I will simply stop living. And that makes me wonder what life is about at all. Why do we have life temporarily? It is very hard to judge whether life is significant or not because it's temporary. So life just is. I can't judge whether it's significant or not, or is it just incidental? Humans do think our lives are important, that we have significance, but I struggle to know what that significance is. Our lives come to an end, and that is the end of the matter. It does seem to be incidental. We regard life as important, but is it really important? And then you get into what does important mean anyway? What does it mean to be important? I think life is incidental, and I think it is not significant when it comes down to it. We regard certain complexity of life as being more important than less complex life. But ultimately, it is temporary, and pointless it seems. Humans are just a flash in the pan when it comes down to it. It is so hard to judge the significance of humankind. I just don't know what the say about humankind? Do we matter, and what does it mean to matter anyway? There is so much to question in the world, so little to understand. It is very strange.